Today I wanted to talk about being able to tell stories with your shot selection. If this is a type of content that you are interested, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe so that you can get more of this type of content. Okay, so the first type of shot that I want to talk about is an establishing shot. This shot really helps establish the location that your setting is taking place in. Next, we have the extreme long shot. The extreme long shot can sometimes double as an establishing shot for your sequences, and it is used to show isolation. If you have a single character in a wide open space, it really gives the idea of them being alone and isolated within the shot. Now we have the long shot. The long shot is a full body shot where you see the character from head to toe. And in this type of shot, it's typically used for conveying some sort of action. A lot of times a character is doing something and you want to see what they're doing. The next shot we have is the medium shot. Within the medium shot, we are looking at the character's head and shoulders and kind of maybe a little bit of the chest. And in this shot, you see a lot of dialogues happening, and it's a good distance where we can kind of see some facial expressions and some motions, and we can really get into the conversation between multiple characters because you can fit multiple characters in this style of shot. Moving the camera even closer in, we get to see the close-up shot. In the close-up, we're physically moving the camera closer to the person, but also in a storytelling sense, we want the audience members to get deeper connection to the character. We really want to know what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what emotional state they're in, what is in their head, what's going on. So now we're moving the camera even closer into the extreme close-up. The extreme close-up is really for those tense emotional moments that you want the audience members to be most connected to your actors. So all of the shots that we just looked at, we can do them with narrow lenses or we can do it with wide lenses. There's a lot of variety of lenses. In this next couple of shots, one is a close-up with a narrow lens. And in this close-up, you can see that a lot of the environment is now narrowed within the field of view. So we see less of the environment, and the background is a lot blurrier than what we see in the following shot that is shot as a close-up, but with a 24mm lens, which is considered a wider lens. If you look at the background now, we have a wider field of view. And with that wider field of view, we get to see a lot more of the environment, and a lot of the environment is more in focus compared to the narrow lens that we looked at in the previous shot. Along with the positioning of the camera and choosing the camera focal distance that we're working with, you can also start moving the camera. When we move the camera, we can add a lot more dynamicness to the shot. The first series of shots that we're going to be looking at are nodal camera moves. What this means is that we're tilting or we're panning across the shot without moving the position of the camera. We're only rotating the camera. So in these shots, we are actually moving the camera. So we're creating actual camera moves rather than a tilt or a pan action. This one is a camera move with an adjustment of the focal distance or the type of lens that you're doing. If you have an adjustable lens, you can actually go from wide to narrow or narrow to wide as you move the camera. When I did that in this shot, I'm trying to keep as close as possible the same style of shot, so I'm going from a close-up to a close-up, but because I'm shifting the focal distance, it actually gives this interesting parallax type of movement, and you see it a lot in horror movies and situations that are kind of tense and dramatic. In these two last shots, we have the character in a down shot and an up shot. When we are set up on a down shot, what we do is we actually put the camera up high and we look down at the character. This puts the character in a vulnerable position and makes them feel small, makes them feel meek. and it makes the camera be in a domineering position over the character, which makes the audience be in that position of power. It makes the character feel much more weak. Now, when we do the opposite and we put the camera low and we look up at the character, we actually get the opposite effect. We put the character in a position of power. It's domineering, it's towering over the audience member when we're looking through the camera. So I hope you guys learned something and that you enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.